And this is just such a nice, agile, lively bike. My name's GuyKesTV. I've been testing mountain bikes for over 21 years. Today, right up in the middle of the Yorkshire Dales with Canyon's Neuron CF 9 SL. Fully carbon framed, carbon wheeled, 130mm travel, high speed all-rounder. This is the carbon fibre version of the Neuron, and it's fully carbon fibre, front and rear. And this 9 SL gets the Reynolds 309 carbon rimmed wheels as well, so it's a really appealing speed package. Once you've got it in your nice Canyon delivery box and shipped to where you live, it's obviously Canyon, a direct brand, and they always come really well set up, really well protected, nice padding and Velcro straps, so you're getting a really good package for your money. 130mm travel, front and rear, box performance, which is a really good setup this year. Hasn't been the greatest in years past, but they've really sorted it now, a lot smoother than it used to be over low speed stuff. You've got a fit damper on the front, 3-position damper on the rear, so nice balanced, tunable max front to rear. And the way that 4-bar kinematic works out, you can get the power down, very little interruption of the suspension action, so really smooth and connected all the way through. And at under 13 kilos of these pretty lightweight Reynolds wheels, this is where this SL really comes alive on these long, rough, steady tempo climbs. Just rolls over everything really smoothly. And that sensitive bump start, if you lever it up on the pedals, and if you just settle on sag point, it is genuinely stable, like they say with a triple phase suspension. Just a naturally efficient and eager climber. Reasonable length, nothing excessive, but enough to breathe. 760mm bar, keeps the ribcage reasonably wide. Eagle if you need it. It's going to be rare on this bike, but just traction and smoothness. It's got a lovely surge, moments like this, and the gradient eases off. You don't have to relax after the climb, you just roll into the next gear, keep the speed up. So 67.5 head, 74 rear, it's just under 1200 wheelbase. This is all on the large I'm riding, and it's pretty much bang benchmark with most 120mm trail bikes. Santa Cruz Tallboy, Specialized, Stump Jumper ST, Scott Spark, they're all around there. And they're around there for a reason. I mean, it's not as radical as the White or the Kotick, but I've seen it getting flack from people who just seem obsessed with everything having enduro geometry, but it's just totally appropriate. They're stable enough to just about ride one-handed down here. It's not treacherous in any way. 2.35 tyres, giving you a bit of protection. Nice wide 30mm rim, bulking out the footprint on them. So all these little sniper rocks above Malham are less of an issue. Hopefully I haven't jinxed it there. And you can just take the good fast, no compromise lines, rather than having to nurse and protect the bike all the way down. Although what line this is, I don't know. This is dropping on Ryan. Canyon definitely doing their normal high value trick. And I like the way they put the spec together. Your basic guide brakes. There we go, using them there. Oh, sheep on the line. You haven't got the swing link in there. They're not the most touchy-feely guides, but they work. You can scrub off speed before it run into the livestock. You've got the lighter cassette, 1275 cassette. Better quality chain. More adjustable, lighter feel shifters than you have on most carbon bikes at this price. even without carbon wheels. So, and Fox transfer dropper post. It's an absolute gift at this price to go with the Fox suspension. Super reliable. Pretty much the test done. And while that long stroke Fox shock on the back is really smooth when it's fully open, they've gone with quite an aggressive set of compression tunes on it, which really suits the bike, especially when you've got something like this climb up Mastiles Lane ahead of you. Oh, I'm going to say that wasn't grim, but that's probably the one of the easier ways to get up it with 130mm travel. Here's this Neuron. And while it is definitely super smooth and very active and plush, tracks the terrain really nicely. It's definitely not as stiff under power. It's kind of the firmest bikes in the benchmark group. That tall boy, that mobile feel kind of extends in a 3D way. Doesn't grunt the power down like a BPP. And these are pretty stiff wheels. Now, I've tested the wheels independently and they're one of the crisper feeling 29er wheels, even though they're light. So it's definitely the chassis and the shock feel that's pretty mobile. But then, you know, it is very light for the money you're paying it for 130mm travel. So if you're not laying out big watts and kicking all over the place, then it's a really plush, really comfortable bike. And as well as being a naturally smooth bike and light and efficient covering distance, it's also got the right kind of equipment spec for covering distance. It's got thread in bottom bracket, not press fit. It's got covers over all the bearing heads, double row bearings on the drive side main pivot to spread that torque load. Got those not externally routed cables but shrouded cables under that down tube protector. So it's a neat looking bike, but nice and easy to whip those cables out for servicing. And while it might not have that killer kick, it loves stuff like this. That slightly more malleable rear end just conforms, grips and rolls really well to wring the traction out of that stuff. As long as you can keep those pedals turning smoothly, you're going up. So that's it. Canyon Neuron CF9 SL. Really well put together package. Impressively light for the money, super smooth, super well connected, really efficient pedaling, brilliant spec. Only thing I would say is if that seat tube was a little bit lower, that would mean you had more choice of getting a longer bike. You're going to struggle. You can't really size. I couldn't really size up on an XL to get extra reach if I wanted, because my seat post's pretty much at the limit of how low I can run it anyway. It's not the stiffest 130mm bike. It's not the slackest or the longest 130mm bike. I mean, you will find that out if you absolutely thrash it down the steepest, most techie descents. But, you know, the geometry does the job really well for what this bike's intended to do. Classic old school mountain biking done with all the modern technological efficiencies you could want, really. And that's what I've done on it today. So happy days. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for liking, thanks for sharing. There's a more detailed walk around video on this bike, which I'll link to, and also there's more coverage of this bike, including the world's worst unboxing video, on Patreon. Just $3 upwards a month, so please consider joining me on there. Massive thanks to my Patreon supporters for making this video possible with their subscriptions. Thanks a lot, Canyon. Thanks a lot, Neuron. Thanks a lot, Yorkshire Dales.